It is now December 18th, and we are getting alarmingly close to not achieving our goal of completing the entire Layton Trophy Cabin by the end of 2024. And you guys know the drill by now, we're missing one thing, and that is a trophy wild boar. We've been trolled twice, and hopefully today's the day we rectify that, so we're headed right back to Hirschfelden multiplayer to try and do just that. So no messing around today. Straight into wild boar drink time in the server. We actually have a max estimate 4 who's alarmed, and we're just gonna send a 450 round his way. I also brought the 375, and I certainly would not mind if we get an opportunity at some kind of trophy Euro Bison today, but we joined this server and the host immediately left, and to that I say thank you and let's get going. Definitely makes it a whole lot easier when we're able to rest right to the drink time of what we're after. That's a big one too, 136, where 144 is diamond. Definitely feels like a really solid start. Obviously the same size tusks with no true tusks in this case as our couple of trolls. Just need a little better than that and we'd be all set. You know, the one downside to like spooking these things is way harder to maybe identify a black gold or something like that. You just can't hardly see it unless they're really close by. Now, obviously in this case, we can kind of run at them and see. But remember, not that long ago, we killed a melanistic over on Medvedtaga, and it was broad daylight, super sunny, and just kind of barely stood out a little bit different. If we were to have that kind of situation here, it would require basically just finding the disturbed veg. I don't think there's any way we'd ever just see that and be able to recognize it in the dark. I do think, so long as we don't have anything crazy coming out of here, because there's oh my goodness, there's a ton of them. I don't see anything special, so maybe since we have the 375, we'll try to get, those guys are about the same, but the best estimate bison is that one. It's about 220 out or so. I just love the sound of that thing. It sounds so good, and look how fast it's dropping. It's probably not going to be quite full quick though, but at 220 meters, it's not bad. So a nice bonus kill, and a quick kill of 90% at 222 meters, double lung. I mean, we haven't used it for a while because we've been focusing on red fox and pheasants and, you know, even just hunting stalls, Weasel Park generally. Just love to use it. You know, I don't think there's any weirdness with like score estimates on wild boar, but that is an oddly low estimate for a 3. And we've seen the whole deal time and time again where rares have a score estimate where like the top end of the estimate is what they score or whatever. I think it just happens to be a really small level 3, and as I said, albinos that we've killed and stuff in the past, I don't think we've ever seen that scoring, you know, kind of effect even happen. But I mentioned the melanistic and now I'm paranoid that we'd missed one, so kinda had to shoot that. And even regardless of what it is, which by the way, very much a common, it is already, he did score like top of the estimate, it's already 2:19 a.m, so really running out of time for wild boar drink time, and at least trying to make the most of it and shooting as many of them as we can get. So this spot has been pretty decent to us, we might as well give that a look. And once again, there are a bunch of them, and there's a 4 there. Nothing really special though, I think, yeah, another 4 up there, high estimate that time. And we'll just go ahead and send this about, I don't know, close to 350 meters. Looks like we got him pretty good. We will take that. The biggest negative though, since we can't fast travel over there, it's gonna take, I would say, the majority of what we have left of wild boar drink time just to go and claim that. Now we actually spooked one out of here that I was guessing was a solo, but looks like an entire group of them, so we'll try to click tracks as we go through, make sure there wasn't at least a rare, and maybe look for max weight estimates too. I feel like that we made decent time. It's 240 now. 110 scoring goal for that. Double lung at 340 meters. That hit like exactly where we wanted. Now the question is, where do we go that we can get to quickly? These areas can be good. I'm kind of thinking up here though in the Hirschfelden area. Maybe we'll try to get to these smallish lakes and see if we can get lucky there. Well, what do you know? We get to daylight here, and we've got our second max estimate boar of the hunt. This time just a track, so we're going to have to figure out where he's at. It looks like he's at least with a group of them, so that should make life a little bit easier. We did rest to 5 a.m. once we got to the end of boar drink time, because there wasn't a lot of points just hunting around in the dark. And I'm to be 100% honest, not exactly sure what boar do first thing in the morning. I thought they fed, but maybe that's not the case. I'm gonna say this is our group of boar. A couple of level 1s. There's the 4, but not the 1. Ah, there's our 4. Low estimate, unfortunately, but at least kind of good that we got into him pretty quick. Just slid to a stop. This guy's got a higher score estimate, despite the lower weight estimate. And we got him to slide to a stop, actually hitting him the first time. Got him kind of like into a wounded animation and slowed him down so we could get a better shot. It's always interesting, you know, we do the thing with the foxes and raccoon dogs and coyotes where you can hit them on the run and they kind of fall and we can get a double lung shot as they stand back up broadside. There's little tricks like that, and I didn't really know this one with boar, but certainly once we hit it, it was moving slower and much easier to get that follow-up, which we can see did land in the vitals. So one thing I want to do after this, 112 by the way, that would maybe be a good sign. Got that pretty well square through the lungs. So I want to backtrack him and see what kind of zone they were in. I'm guessing though, pretty much the rest of this hunt is going to be looking for tracks. Okay, so they do feed, but only till 6 a.m. That would make more sense. So that pretty well means we are indeed going to be looking for tracks. Well, that's a big fallow deer, level 5, 222 to 263. I couldn't tell if that was the troll rack or not, but we've got our 450 here. Nah, I don't think that's a troll. I'm fairly confident that's like a 255-ish. 0 for 75 then. Really would love to drop him, and I don't want this one to get in the way. That's got him clear. Oh, we just shot over the heart anyway. But I think maybe the 3rd or 4th level 5 fallow of this series. Definitely the first one we ever killed was a troll. I do believe we have at least 1 diamond in our lodge. It's not a very big one though. So there is potential, as we've now done at least one other time, like with our albino fox, to make an upgrade to our Layton Trophy Cabin as we're chasing this trophy boar. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's see. What are we looking at here? This guy's super wide set, so I think he'll make it. And he does, 255 indeed, pretty proud of that. Right lung shot, how'd this work out? Yeah, just over the heart, just kind of inside of the left lung as well. And I wouldn't be the slightest bit shocked if that does top the other one that we have in there. We'll tax him, if he isn't bigger, 255.64 to remember that. If he isn't bigger, no big deal, but hopefully he is, and it can be, you know, a nice little upgrade as we're still searching around. And we've got another max estimate boar. This time we just kind of stumbled into him. I'm not so sure this is going to go as well as we'd like, unless he maybe turns. Got some space, so we'll wait on it, at least maybe try to get a gold. Looks like, yeah, there's a little bit of potential there. Really had to just kind of hope for the best on that shot. I guess we didn't get a lung, had to be close. And I'm going to say, if anything, that was in the vertebrae. So, first max estimate that we're going to end up not getting a gold on. And I think it was the same last time. We ended up with like maybe 3 or 4 186 to 240 estimate boars. Just can't seem to get one that's level 5 now. So just out of curiosity, first shot, I guess was a little back and low. That might have touched liver if we were just a little higher. And then second shot too high and too far back. But that guy at 125 I think is maybe the smallest of our 3 max estimates today. And hopefully that's not the last one we're going to find, but I don't know, like at this point, just trying to go to places we haven't been yet, and it kind of worked out there. Well, I can say one thing, it ain't for lack of trying, but there just doesn't seem to be any kind of trophy wild boars out here today. So we've got this level 1 out here, about 200 meters away, and I think we might as well go ahead and get that guy. Better than any of the other ones around here. Minimum estimate of 4, by the way, does give him a chance of being minimum score. The minimum for, I think, wild boar, feral pig, wild hog, all these things is 7. And there's at least a chance at it, which would be, sadly, I think the best thing we would have gotten today for wild boar. And you may have noticed they're changing my zeroing. There was nothing in the bottom right. We jumped into another server. We've been out here for probably about an hour. Just can't seem to find any kind of decent boar. But this guy is 32, so a bronze at least. Would qualify for a Hall of Shame if we didn't already have a minimum score. Double lunged him, and we can at least go back and see if our fallow deer ends up being an upgrade. So back to our Layton Trophy Cabin. We'll take a quick peek here at the one that we've already got. Might be the same fur type. This guy was 257, so actually, our new one from today at 255.6, not going to replace it. And I think we're at the point now. I already mentioned the date. We have just under 2 weeks left in 2024 to get this done. So here's my plan. Some kind of off-camera time that we have, I'm going to just jump on Hirschfelden and try to find one that way. I really didn't want to do that because everything else here has been specifically in episodes where we set out to fill this lodge. But if we want to get it done by the end of the year, I think it's going to come to that, some maybe off-camera hunting, and we shall see. Maybe that won't work and we'll get him in an episode anyway, but it's so crazy. Everything else, it has worked out so well. I mean, we've got the rare black bear, we've got the 2 rare coyote and red fox back here, just really nice diamonds all throughout, and this wild boar, despite, I think, being the only thing we've been trolled twice on, we just can't get anything in that spot. But as I said, gonna get after it this week, try to find one out there in Hirschfelden multiplayer, and we shall see if we can indeed get this done by the end of the year. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.